Hello, everybody, and welcome to the monthly welcome event. Okay, and I'm going to do this on the first of every month because I have come up with monthly themes. And I am an American, and most of the members, I think, in our group are American. That may change at some point, but since I'm the founder and I'm an American, I'm going to talk about an American holiday, which happens on Tuesday, but I therefore made the theme for this month independence and freedom. Now, on July 4th here in the United States, we celebrate the United States of America's independence from what was one of the superpowers at the time, Great Britain. And so we will celebrate that on Tuesday with typical red, white, and blue. You'll see our flags everywhere. We will probably do hamburgers and hot dogs. Most people will be having cookouts because it's warm pretty much everywhere in this country. And fireworks. That's the big deal on the 4th of July, is usually huge firework displays. And if they don't have them in your area and you have television, you can always watch the fireworks in Washington, D.C. over the Potomac River, which is quite something to see. But I made it the theme for this whole month. And the reason why is I think one of the things that we ladies want to achieve, if we don't already have it, is freedom. Freedom to wear our hair the way we want. If you want your gray silver hair to be long, that is your choice. Nobody has the right to tell you that, oh, now because you're 50, you have to cut it short. It just doesn't apply. And we are free to wear what we want and to do our makeup however we want. And I want to encourage you to kind of think with that throughout the month of July. And maybe there's a situation in your life that has always kind of brought you down. And maybe you can think of a way to gain independence from that situation so that it doesn't bring you down anymore. And I will just offer right now, if you have a situation and you just aren't sure what to do about it, you can always reach out to me. I'm not an expert by any means, but I always have good ideas. And sometimes, you know, when you have a situation in your life that you just can't seem to sort out, sometimes when you can talk to someone else about it, it makes a difference. And also, sometimes it's a situation where you can't talk to your family members. Maybe you can't even talk to your friends. So you can talk to a perfect stranger. And I am probably pretty close to that, except for one of you who's my cousin. Anyhow, if I can help in any way, I'm always here to do that. But let's just all declare ourselves free from something. I don't know what it might be, but free from something. I'm going to talk a little bit about the background of this country because I think it's appropriate. And whether you are an American or whether you're not, I'm going to do that. I was talking to my daughter-in-law, and she is a high school teacher, and she was talking about teaching Thomas Paine's pamphlet, which was called Common Sense, to her high school students. And I got inspired. And so I looked up Common Sense and I looked up more about Thomas Paine. And I may be telling you all something that you already know, but some of it's stuff that I didn't know. So I will talk about that in a minute. I want to let you know that we have a member in our group named Jillian Kubala. Now, Jillian is not in our demographic. She is 37 years old and she's a beautiful blonde. But what she is a licensed dietitian and a nutritional expert. And I personally think that diet and nutrition are the two of the three most important things for we ladies in our older years. The third one I would say is exercise and movement, but diet and nutrition right up there at the very top. If we know enough about it and we apply it to ourselves, it is my personal opinion, I am not a doctor, but it is my personal opinion that we will be healthier and we will have way less, much fewer, way less, I don't know, anyway, fewer things wrong with our body, few aches, few pains, few illnesses, few negative conditions with our body if we practice good nutrition and we practice good diet and we move. So I did an interview with Jillian. It's a 45-minute interview, and that's kind of long. So I am breaking it up into like 10 to 12-minute segments. And later today, I will have chapter 1 up so you can hear just a little bit of an overview. And then in a couple days, I'm going to post a survey. And I would really appreciate it if you would take that survey, because it's going to ask very specific questions about nutrition, so that when I do a future interview, and I'm going to make that one live with Jillian, she can address some of those questions. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to make it a live interview. I strongly urge you to be on that live call with every question you've ever wanted to ask a dietitian or nutritionist, okay? This is your opportunity. You don't have to pay anything. You're not paying for a consultation. She is just excited to help you all with diet and nutrition. And so she is going to go live with me. We're going to schedule some time, and I'll let you guys know. And hopefully you'll join. I will also invite the Silver Hair Foxes to join if they would like to. But you guys are going to hear about it first. So there you go. Okay, so I wanted to talk just a little bit about Thomas Paine, because I thought this was kind of interesting. So on January 10th, 1776, an obscure immigrant published a small pamphlet that ignited independence in America and shifted the political landscape of the Patriot movement from reform within the British imperial system to independence from it. 120,000 copies sold in the first 3 months in a nation of 3 million people, making Common Sense the best-selling printed work by a single author in American history up to that time. Never before had a personally written work appealed to all classes of colonists. Never before had a pamphlet been written in an inspiring style so accessible to, quote, common folk in America. Common Sense made a clear case for independence and directly attacked the political, economic, and ideological obstacles to achieving it. Paine relentlessly insisted that British rule was responsible for nearly every problem in colonial society, and that the 1770s crisis could only be resolved by colonial independence. Now, what's interesting is during that time, a lot of the citizens did not feel that they should declare independence. And so this pamphlet by Thomas Paine really spurred a lot of people to take a look at the fact that it was probably time to declare independence, no matter the cost. In addition to the audacity and timelessness of its ideas, Common Sense compelled the American people because it resonated with their firm belief in liberty and determined opposition to injustice. So that was kind of the climate that Thomas Paine wrote Common Sense, and I wanted to give you just a couple of little quotes from it because I thought they were very good. It's a 47-page pamphlet. That's a pretty big pamphlet, okay? And it was sold and distributed widely and read aloud at taverns and meeting places. Okay, so here's some of the quotes. He said, "The world is my country, all mankind are my brethren, and to do good is my religion." I think that is a very, very powerful quote, especially since throughout history, not so good things have been done in the name of religion. But he says it very clearly, to do good is my religion. He said, reason obeys itself and ignorance submits to whatever is dictated to it. Very wise words. Freedom had been hunted round the globe. Reason was considered as rebellion, and the slavery of fear had made men afraid to think. But such is the irresistible nature of truth that all it asks and all it wants is the liberty of appearing. Now, that was not written in Common Sense. That was written in something he wrote called Rights of Man in 1791. Let's see if I can get one. Now, this is a good one, and we've heard the first line of this probably somewhere. This is from something he wrote called The Crisis Number One, and it was written in December 1776. These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from service of their country. But he that stands it now deserves the love and thanks of man and woman. Tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered, yet we have this consolation with us, that the harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. What we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is the dearness only that gives everything its value. Heaven knows how to put a proper price upon its goods, and it would be strange indeed if so celestial an article as freedom should not be highly rated. I mean, inspiring words to be sure. He says, oh, and this is kind of poetic. He says, O ye that love mankind, ye that dare oppose not only tyranny but the tyrant, stand forth. Every spot of the old world is overrun with oppression. Freedom hath been hunted round the globe. Asia and Africa have long expelled her. Europe regards her like a stranger, and England hath given her warning to depart. O receive the fugitive and prepare in time an asylum for mankind. I wanted to just give you some of those thoughts by Thomas Paine. I think it's fascinating to look at what the thoughts were at that time here in this country and how courageous the people were who decided to declare independence. So that's the theme for this month is freedom and independence. Just a reminder, I am going to do another interview with Jillian Kubala. I will invite you to join. It will be a live interview, and you can ask whatever question you want to ask. And in the meantime, I'm going to quiz you. I'm going to give you a little bit of a survey, a pop quiz, if you will, on nutrition and get your thoughts on that. So welcome everybody who's new to the group, and we do have some new members. We will have more joining every month. And please, if you haven't already, follow the welcome checklist. Please fill out your profile in full. Tell us about yourself, and also be sure and say your city and state or your city and country, because that way other members can connect up with you. And maybe there's one that you want to have coffee with who just happens to be 45 minutes away from you. So please be sure and fill out your profile and invite your friends to come and join. It's not hard to do. And we are posting regularly in the Facebook group to get members from that group, because those are the ladies that are going to like this community, we think. If you have feedback on the community, you can reach out to me. There's one man in this group. That's my husband. He's not interested in your personal information, so you can feel free to reach out to him or reach out to me, okay? And have a great month. Happy 4th of July, all you renegade Americans like me. I'm definitely a renegade. I'm just going to be honest here. If the war were going on now, the war for independence, I think I'd be front and center. I'm kind of like that. Anyway, have a good month. I will talk to you again on August 1st. Oh, yeah. And I'll also do my weekly chit chat. I do that every week. And that's Mondays at 11:45 a.m. And that's also live. So you can feel free to join me. Take care, everybody. I love you all. I'm so glad you're here. Let's make this community something super duper special.